Hello, this is Bruno Pelletier-Bacquaert, and on this video I would like to talk about chromaticisms. So what are they, those chromaticisms? It's a big word for not very much, really. All it is, it's the idea of adding extra notes to a melody. My melody can be a scale, it can be an arpeggio. The idea is that I'm adding a note that is not in the scale or not in the chord in order to create some tension. So it's called a chromaticism, and that tension needs to be resolved into one of the chord tones, or definitely a note of the key. So it's a very broad topic. We can do that, as I said, with arpeggios, with all kinds of devices. But today I'm strictly going to talk about the scale. So I'm going to use a C major scale. And I'm playing it here, somewhere in the middle of the fretboard. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? Now, if I were to play this scale using eighth notes only, see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I land on the octave, on the C, but I finish with an upbeat. So rhythmically, it's not satisfying. It kind of leaves me up in the air. It's not comfortable. Again, it sounds like this: 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Right? So I'm short of one note. So I could actually repeat one of the notes I just played. I could maybe repeat the last note, the B, or the second to last note, that is the B, before going into the last note, which is the C. So it would give me this: 3, 4. So rhythmically, there's a big improvement because I land on a strong beat. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Right? It's a little better. I could have doubled the A instead of the B. That would give me a 3, 4. Okay, it's a little better, maybe. But harmonically, there's nothing interesting. But at least we are solving the rhythmic issue here. Another way to solve that same rhythmic issue would be go past the C and then back down. So I would have this: 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Okay, so 3, 4. Okay, so that's strictly using the notes of the C major scale. And now let's use our topic of the day, the chromaticism. So the extra note I'm going to inject in there, instead of doubling one of the notes of the scale, I'm going to use a different note, a note that is between two notes on my scale. So one that I can use here that would fit a C major scale that I could use over, say, a C major 7 chord, or C6 or 6/9. That would be the sharp 5. So I could play C, D, E, F, G, G sharp, A, B, and C, right? So in time I have this: 3, 4. Okay, now this sounds a lot better than what I was doing earlier because I have this tension that gets resolved into the A, right? So it's not in the scale. You know, you could argue that it's a wrong note even, but I'm placing it in such a way that it's going to resolve into a good note, and the effect is quite interesting. So again, I have this: 3, 4. So that was going up. I could use the exact same notes descending. So here, one thing that you may have noticed, when I was going up this scale, I played the G sharp here on the first string with my first finger, and I went up like this. However, when I played descending, I chose to grab the G sharp with the pinky on the second string and then come right back down in position, still with the fourth finger. So up, whereas down, okay. So that was adding the sharp 5 to my scale. Let's see what else I can add. I could add a sharp 4, meaning C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. In this position, I didn't have to go get the note anywhere else. It was right in the middle of my position. So in time, 3, 4. Okay, sounds pretty good. Descending, it's going to sound good too. All right, that was the sharp 4. I could add a sharp 2. So I have C, D, D sharp, resolving to the E, and then I continue F, G, A, B, C. So here we go, 3, 4. All right. Descending, I'm going to use the pinky descending here. Now, you could have said that I should use the pinky on the way up because it is in position, but I somehow like to go out of position and resolve into the note, particularly if I'm going to slur, do things like that. It makes more sense to me, to use that first finger, but you do what you want. The last note I could add to my C major scale would be a C sharp. Doesn't sound as good, honestly, because all the tension is at the very beginning of the scale, and then the rest of the scale sounds a bit bland compared to the beginning. Now this will sound better if we go descending. We could go like this. See, it sounds better to save the tension for the very end here. All right, so that sums it up. Over my C major scale, I was able to use a sharp 5. That's probably the most desirable tone to add. Sharp 5, sharp 4, sharp 2, and sharp 1. So that's adding a chromaticism. That's actually also the concept of the so-called bebop scales. There's not just one bebop scale, but that's the concept of adding a chromatic tone to a scale. So you could do that with any mode. I did that with a C major scale, or C Ionian, if you prefer to call it modally. But that's something that a lot of you are probably doing already with the blues scale. That scale we call the blues scale. If I do it here in A minor, well, the blues scale. All right, let me start again here. What I have first is a pentatonic scale. It's an A minor pentatonic in 1 octave. Here they'll be in 2 octaves, right? So A, C, D, E, G, A. That's the pentatonic scale, A minor pentatonic. The so-called blues scale is the same pentatonic to which I'm adding a chromaticism. And that chromaticism is here. The blue note that connects the D with the E. So I have now, instead of having 5 notes, I have 6 notes. And that's the blues scale. And that's the higher octave. There's also a major blues scale. So if I stay within the same area, my C major, and pentatonic, C, D, E, G, A, C. That's C major pentatonic. So I'm adding the same D sharp, but now it's going to be a sharp 9 instead of a sharp 4, because I'm thinking C major instead of A minor. So that would fit a C dominant chord. So if you play a blues in C, you could use that C major blues scale. Okay, so that's it. Let me finish by demonstrating an F blues, and first I'll do it without using chromaticisms. At least I'll try to refrain from using them, and then I'll do it with the chromaticism. Okay, so my clicks on 2 and 4, and I'm going to play an F blues. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds a little bland to me, and I'm struggling to not use those chromaticisms because I really hear them naturally. So now let me improvise over the same chord progression, F blues, but I will throw in some chromaticisms. So here we go again. That's our one chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was a little more interesting, harmonically speaking, and rhythmically too, actually. But harmonically, first of all, because there were a lot of tension notes that I was resolving, and that is thanks to our chromaticisms. Okay, so that's it for today, and keep practicing those.